Michelle down in Florida is part of a newspaper. Michelle, can you talk a little bit about this notion of building community at Mytopia Cafe, how your community feels about it, what they tell you about that relationship, and also the extent to which you use the newspaper partnership in any way to facilitate that?
Our newspaper is a family-owned newspaper that has very deep roots in the community, and they're known for their community engagement. And so it seemed very natural for them in a lot of ways to extend and provide a place for the community to get together for dialogue. I think that's what I hear and what I've heard from people is that what we do a lot of is facilitating dialogue. And my background at the newspaper was a columnist, writing a lifestyle column where I told very personal stories, personal narrative, and I think the newspaper recognized that those stories were connecting with the community in ways that our news coverage wasn't. And so they wanted to provide a place where people could tell their own stories and share information. So the site allows for what we call user-generated content, which is basically the public contributing stories and photos and events to our calendar that they want to share with the rest of the population. For me, the site solves some of what I felt, and others I think at the conference that we've been at have felt, the need of this craving for community, this craving to reach out to our neighbors that we just see perhaps in driving into our garage and closing the door behind us in a way that our front porches and our town centers used to do. And so as we began to look at Mytopia Cafe as a way to create and recreate that town center and that place for civic dialogue, even though we had comments on our news site, there wasn't a place for us to really, a respectful place, a place that created a space that honored individual people's voices and a place to be able to share the beauty and the value of the place that we called home.
So what motivates you to do this work?
What motivated me, and one of the reasons why I'm very passionate about online community, is that I recognize not only in my own community that there were voices that weren't being heard, and I think we've talked about that value that not just African American communities, not just gay or lesbian communities, but everyone across ethnicity and gender and all the other dividers that we might use, I think are feeling a sense of alienation right now. And that all of us are finding ourselves in situations where we feel voiceless. And the technologies through these online communities allow for people to feel as if their voices are being heard.